Right, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm not sure whether this is switched on.
It's not.
It's not. It is.
It is on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the annual meeting of Woodley Town Council, being held today, the 5th of May 2026. Woodley Town Council meetings are recorded, with recorded stream live and stored on the Council's YouTube channel. By virtue of attending the meeting, you consent to having your image and audio recorded for this purpose. If you do not wish for your image and audio to be recorded, then please do not stay for the meeting. For those in attendance, we're not expecting the fire drill tonight, so if you hear the fire alarm, please head out of the nearest fire exit and congregate at the fire assembly point by the Oakwood Centre at the front of Woodford Park. Now, before we actually move on to the agenda for tonight's meeting, we have Warwick Haskins here from Wokingham Borough Council to give us a chat on the Town of Culture at, I believe, the town centre.
Strategy as well.
Yeah. Right, so I'll pass you over to...
Hi there, everyone. So I'm going to start off with the Town of Culture expression of interest that we've submitted. And I'm going to keep nodding to Kevin to press the button. Go to the next one. Right, so Town of Culture is a bit like City of Culture, but on a smaller scale. It's the first one this year, was for 2028, the first one that the government has launched. I think there's well over 100 towns have submitted an expression of interest for it, so up against quite a few other towns. But when this came across the desk, the first thing I thought of was put Woodley through for the heritage, and mainly due to the aviation heritage. Just a bit of background, the competition celebrates cultural identity, community spirit, led by the UK Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport, DCMS. So it's got a stand framework, the funding awards. So if we get shortlisted, we get £60,000 to develop an actual bid. So we haven't done a bid, this is just us kind of putting our toe in the water, putting our foot in the door to say, yes, we're interested in submitting the bid. So this is just all the expression of interest at the moment. So if we were shortlisted, they haven't actually said how many towns they are going to shortlist, and they haven't said when we're going to find out whether you've been shortlisted, so it's all a bit unknown. I'm assuming they're probably leaving it till after the local elections, I would have thought, so probably maybe next week or the week after we hopefully find out one way or the other. So yeah, £60,000 to develop the actual bid if we are successful, and then the full applications have to be submitted in the autumn at some point. And again, they haven't said the date yet. Final bidder chosen in early 2027. There's going to be a main winner and two runner-up. It's based on a small town, medium town, and a large town. We're in the medium town category, and I'm assuming they're going to have the first, second, and third based on those three. So one of each. The way the EI was set up, so it's kind of a little bit about your story. So it's kind of what the vision is, the local needs. It's wants to know about the local demographics of the area and the empowerment. And then we've got the culture, kind of quality, innovation, the opportunity, how it's going to be accessible, how it's going to be communicated. And then the last section is how we make it happen, how we form the partnerships, the program management, the financial management, and the monitoring and innovation and legacy. Hopefully you've all had a chance to kind of whiz through some of the slides. I know they were sent out in advance, so I don't want to go through them all in too much detail, otherwise the 30-minute slot would be about 2 hours, so I'll be quite brief. So I'll just go into the vision. I don't know whether it's better, I'll get if anyone to have per section, whether someone wants to ask questions as we go along or wait to the end. I don't mind either way. So the vision basically is on the town. It's a Woodley, it's a young post-war town. Looking at its identity, it's free people focus, it's a community, It's built from the Miles aircraft and the airfield, and how it was before the airfield was a small settlement, and it's kind of spread out since the airfield with industry moving in, and obviously when the airfield closed, then the town kind of created on top of the airfield and now built all over the airfield. So the airfield is the main history and the history of the community. And so this whole story is about how the community became what it is today, all the way through from the local first of the airfield and building up to all the house building, and then get to where we are today. And that's the main vision. So just to set up something. And again, we don't know what they're looking for in the DCMS. They haven't really given us any information. So it's like on the City of Culture, Reading went for the City of Culture and didn't get longlisted, but Swindon did. So I honestly don't know what they're looking for. So I'm hoping that we're doing something completely different to what other towns have done. So because we're up against locally, I think Basingstoke's gone for it, Slough's gone for it, Henley's gone for it. There's quite a few along the south coast that have gone for it. So hopefully we're just trying to put something in that's slightly different. Then there's a lot about the local needs, and what we want to look at there is Woodley, where as soon as everyone thinks of Wokingham Borough, you're thinking it's kind of a wealthy borough, and we want to show that the local needs within Woodley, it's got its own, kind of almost its own demographics that separates it from the rest of the Wokingham Borough. So we've just gone into some details on the inequalities that's not seen in elsewhere in the borough, and just going through what the response would be, how it's going to be accessible, and the cultural activity to go into the neighbourhoods. And as I said, if you could read it all, it's got a lot more information, but if I go through it all, it'll take too long. So it's an empowerment. So the whole point of this is as I said, this is us putting this expression of interest together. This is just, as I said, to get a foot in the door. If we got shortlisted, then that's when the empowerment comes in, and then that goes to the community to actually develop the main bid and how the bid will look. So it's all community focused and it's all locally focused. It's not going to be Wokingham Borough saying how it's going to be. It's going to be the town council, the carnival committee, and as I said, the Museum of Aviation, and lots of charities. I've had quite a lot of interest and emails coming through from local community groups and charities saying how they supported the bid. And that's at this stage, that's all we were looking for, is just is support rather than how it's all going to be done. Next one is quality and innovation. So we're going to say it's a community-led festival, looking at the key spaces. We've got the Oakwood Centre, the theatre, all the parks, including Ashtonbury Park, and the library. We've got the new community hub, hopefully will be all up and running by 2028 as well, so we'll be kind of focusing a lot on the community hub. There'll be lots of temporary exhibition structures, digital screens, marker spaces, pop-ups, temporary expanding some of the infrastructure that's there at the moment. And so it's just going to be a 6-month blend of heritage arts, digital showcases, and hopefully building a lasting ecosystem. So again, an opportunity, we're looking at, it's going to be a kind of workshop, school sessions, youth panels, outreach, ensure broad, meaningful, so it is meaningful participation. Guided by Woodley Hub insights and Marmot principles, something we need to put in, and looking at young people to get them how to shape the projects. And it's all going to be about partnership working, and I can't stress that much. It's all going to be literally a partnership meriting. We're going to have a community partnership group that will be running this, and then looking at all the different community groups all falling into this partnership. And accessibility is really important as well. We need to make sure it's inclusive for everybody. So all different accessibility issues we want to cover. And we want to look at the cost profile. We want it free, or if there's any cost at all, it's going to be low cost. And lots of pop-up stalls in the parks, halls, libraries, faith venues and the town centre. And we also want to make sure it's digital as well, so people who can't get out, there's something for everyone. Even if they can't get to an event, there's some digital variation or something on there they can get to look at it. Communication, so how we communicate it. I want to make sure, because I know there's been issues before about how Surveys are done, so we want to make sure that if it's going to be getting the communication in, it's going to have to be digital, and I want it on newsletters, I want it multi-format, I want leaflets, I want a pop-up stand, I want people to be able to, if they can get online, they can get online. If they can't get online, there's other ways they can have an input into what we're doing. So print, posters, information stands, etc. And partnership, amplifying messages, so it's going through the towns, the schools, the faith groups, something like the Lions, the Heritage, then all different community groups we can get through to get the communication through. And then as we're going along, there'll be real-time monitoring of it. And then moving on to partnerships. So again, this is we have a Town and Culture Partnership Group to guide the programme. A community advisory panel representing Woodley's all the demographics in Woodley. Regional and national partners add expertise, so if we can't get everything locally, we will look out to regional and national to bring them in, but I'd rather use all local if we can. Open call commissions and micro grants to get wider participation, and then the data-led outreach ensures representatives across the neighbourhoods. So again, can't stress enough, it's all about partnership. And then move on to programme management. This just goes into how it's going. So you've got the Town of Culture Steering Group, and it's going to provide the governance, and then we've got the programme delivery team, and then working groups, heritage, youth, digital festivals, inclusion and accessibility, training, micro grants, strengthen the delivery capacity, and risk management across the delivery, finance, engagement, operations. As I said, this is all stuff that we employ a professional bid writer within the council, so I've thrown all the ideas and what we want to do at her, and she kind of put it into a format how she knows these kind of things are looked at by the government. So the wording in there is basically we're writing what we think they want to hear rather than what it is, but it is all about partnership. And then financial management. So if we were shortlisted, one of the things I want to make sure is if we get the £60,000 to produce a bid, we don't just produce a nice glossy video that's cost £60,000. We want something that's a legacy from that 60,000. So something, while it is part of the bid, we want something that's actually going to be good for the community and lasting for the community as well as part of that 60,000. And obviously, if you did win the bid, it's sort of 3 million would come in quite handy to produce quite a lot. And also the second and third get 250,000. So there is quite a substantial chunk of money and financial reward to make this work. So as I said, all the financial managers will be looking at the funding mix, whether it's council budgets, whether we just get to use the funding that we receive from the winning grants, whether we look out for sponsorship, extra commercial, and doing some fundraising. And then monitoring, evaluation of legacy. So I think the most important thing, as I said earlier on with the 60K, is the legacy. So if we put something on, it's not just something for 6 months. There's something at the end of it that's going to be there forever as a legacy to all this. So something for the community. So that's going to be something unsubstantial, whether it's a immersive statue or anything at all that's going to help the community and drive the community into a better place. So that was really whizzed through that really quickly because I know the time, so I just want to open up to questions.
If I can ask the first question, Greg.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I think we're all proud that it should be put forward. But can you tell me who will have control of any funds if we were successful?
It would be the board, as I said.
Would it be the town council?
It'd be a board made up of the borough council, the town council, and that. So it won't be just controlled by the borough council. It'd be a board controlling it. As I said, but this is how the vote at the door is. So it's not going to be controlled by the borough council. No, the money. So it's.
So I want to know that those funds will be spent on Woodley.
Oh yeah, I know, 100%. 100% would be spent on Woodley and the benefit of the community. Yeah, no doubt at all. And it'd be fully visible, and it is it'd be a shared programme board. So yeah, it's 100% it'd be coming through.
Okay. Councillor,
Yes, I noticed you did all the committees. They're all based in Wokingham or from Wokingham. Woodley hasn't been included in any of the discussions so far, and I would like to make it clear that Woodley must be included in any.
So, sorry, what do you mean by the, when you said the discussions haven't included Woodley so far?
You are actually saying you've got all these committees or forums.
Well, no, the committees don't exist. These are the committees we would be forming if we were successful. These don't exist at the moment. They're just there, or what will be if we were successful in the bid, and then we're forming.
Be included.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah. Woodley's been included all the way through this. I've had lots of meetings with Brian and the team and Kevin. Woodley's all the way through. I've had meetings with the carnival guys and everything. So all of my discussions, I've been with people from Woodley as we put this together.
I think what Councillor Gill was saying, and I think we all agree that this council and the town centre management partnership, we want to make a certain of the items that Woodley.
Yeah.
I will take a steering group made up of councillors from Bridgehampstead, Preston, working without making decisions on how the money's being spent in Woodley.
No, it wouldn't be. It'd be Woodley based. I understand it'd be Woodley based.
First of all, can I apologise for being late? I was still on old 8 o'clock start time. So I've missed virtually all of your conversation, which I apologise.
That's okay.
I'm picking up this steering board, which I think is a good concept. And you mentioned borough councillors from Woodley. You mentioned town council from Woodley. I think it needs to be expanded to include businesses.
It is. Yeah.
I apologise if you've already covered and said it's going to be business. And representation of the general public. Because in reality, council,
Let me go back to you.
I'd like to say it, we're not really totally representative of the man in the street. There's nothing better than getting that person in the street to come in and participate in something like this.
So what I've listed in here is the Town and Culture Partners Groups have Wokingham Borough Council, and they have Woodley Town Council, Woodley Carnival Committee, Woodley and Early Lions, youth organisations, cultural partners, local business, and voluntary sector leads. That's how I see it. That's the partnership.
Any other questions? Councillor Taylor.
I'm just interested in the legacy side of this because, you can imagine we were given all this money to spend. Reading through everything, it seemed very much, a year of events really, and we're talking about pop-ups and what have you. But I noticed in the submission you refer to the Marmot Principles, which is all about the effect of social life and art and sport, what have you, on people's long-term health. And that's not something you do for a year and then it lasts forever. So I'm assuming that we'd have some sort of plan that having done something for a year, it didn't just finish.
No, that's
Value.
yeah, 100%, and that is the point. But again, as I said, this is just the expression of interest. The actual formulation of the bid, if we were shortlisted, would explore all those options. So that's what we're looking at as part of that bid, as you put the bid together, which will be a community-led bid. It wouldn't be a Wokingham Borough Council doing the bid, it'd be a community-led bid. And that's using the £60,000 grant money to formulate that bid and provide a legacy. That's the kind of thing that would be discussed as part of that bid. These are just ideas in here at this moment at the expression of interest stage. The actual what will happen will come at the next stage with the community involvement.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit like the 2012 Olympics, where you start with a concept and a steering team, and then you build the stadium, and then afterwards it's a legacy to be used by the community. So I assume part of this might be, if that was the vision that came out of the steering, if we were to be successful, would be to sort of build something.
Yeah.
What we're currently doing in Woodley Town Council to try and create something that can be used afterwards and can be commemorated in that way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. But as I said, at this stage, it's just the expression of interest. The next stage is when all those ideas can be developed further and looked at and come up with the ideas and exactly what we want to do, or what we all want to do, and how we're going to do it.
Councillor Hodgson.
Thank you, Chair. Quite lovely presentation. Thank you. Lots of words on the screen. Can you email that presentation?
Have you? I thought it was already gone out to everyone.
You should.
Resend. Thank you.
Right, not to prejudge anything, but if we manage to get 60,000 for the ultimate £250,000, can I have your commitment here and now that that money won't be used to replace any existing money that the Borough Council provides to this community? So, for instance, the partnership, the Town Centre Partnership Initiative has an annual grant of 15,000.
Yep, that's right.
I would hate for 60,000, suddenly that disappears. So here and now, can I have your personal commitment that the money won't be used to replace existing spend?
Yep, 100%. You can. I'll put it in writing for you if you like that as well. So no problem at all.
Excuse me. We actually have residents in the audience, Michael, who's been waving his hand here. Michael, do you have a question you wanted to ask?
Could you tell me what you're actually going to do with the bollards, please? Because that's what come in tonight. The bollards, that's the things that go in the ground. Kevin.
Michael would respect that really
Do you mean the town centre bollards? Yeah. To be fair, I'm just about to do my update on the town centre strategy, and the bollard does come up. So I may be covering your bollards in the next couple of minutes.
Good.
5 minutes left. Has any other councillor got a question? Councillors.
You talk about communication.
Yes. Yep, everything will be on the list. Everything. Yeah. We're on the young, the old, everything that covers every kind of variation of communication will be on the list. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
None from the Liberal delegation or Green delegation? No? Then worried. Thank you so much.
Well, did you want a town centre strategy update?
Sorry.
Is it? Right. I'm going to have to do this one even quicker now, aren't I? Because I haven't got it up on the screen either. So I just want a quick reminder, town centre strategy came out last year. And it covers up to 2035. So we're right at the very beginning of this strategy. So the first action was to recruit a town centre officer. That was me. And then next is to develop an action plan for the strategy, which I've been working on for the last few months. And that was agreed through gone through the ONS and various committees. So the year one action plan, it sets up tangible deliveries that I'm looking to deliver in 26, 27. And I took in accounts from the comments from the last time I was here, when I did a presentation. I think it was in October. And obviously at the Town Centre Partnership meetings, I've been presenting it as I've been going along as well. So that's the main part of the action plan and the governance. It's got 4 principles, which I will go into as we're going along because we're short of time. But there's 3 main parties of this action plan that I've put together. So I'm going to be producing detailed reports, studies and audits for each of the 4 principles and associated initiatives identified. I'll send this presentation out to you afterwards as well, so you can have a proper look at it. So the creation of detailed delivery plans this is covering Wokingham, Woodley and Twyford, so this whole strategy. So number 2 is establish the Wokingham Borough Town Centre Strategic Steering Group, which is ongoing at the moment, which is going to be reviewing the oversee of the creation of the town and village centre delivery plans. And then the third part is ongoing stakeholder management, networking and business support, basically my day job in between doing all the other bits and pieces, what I do on an ongoing basis. So I'm going to not go through every single one of these principles because we haven't got time, but I just want to go through a couple of key ones. So one of them was welcoming town village centres, and I'll be looking at producing a maintenance report on issues within the town centre of things that need replacing, such as bollards and things like that. So, but even though that's the agreed target date for that is end of Q2, I've been working on that as we go along. Kev's raised some issues, Brian's raised issues. So there's the issues of the missing benches that have been gone for a couple of years now. I can confirm that an order has been sent to Volker to have them replaced, so they should be any day, any time now they're going to get replaced. There's one particularly damaged bollard that's dangerous that Brian raised to me, that's at the entrance, that doesn't secure down properly. An order's been raised for that, so that's getting sorted. I did try and look at as a quick win, looking whether we can get the bollards repainted, and unfortunately, because the bollards are plastic coated, they can't get repainted. So it's either they've got to be taken away, completely stripped down and then redone. They can't just have a quick one, so that's something I've got to look at in the future. So bollards are definitely on the agenda. Lampposts, every single lamppost in the town centre needed repainting. I think that's been going on for a little while now, and I can confirm that the order to Volker has gone out, and they will be done within the next 8 weeks, hopefully sooner. I've following discussion with Brian, we've got doing a refresh on the lighting on the stage and garden. I've sent funds over to Brian. He's arranging with the local electrician to get them enhanced. And following the discussion at the last town centre partnership meeting last week before, time flies, I can't remember who it was now, we had a big discussion about the garden area, and we came up with the idea of seeing whether we can get it sponsored. So I've been speaking to our commercial team, and we're taking that forward, and having some really good discussions at the moment with some garden centres as well, to see whether we can get that all made nice with no cost, just with some sponsorship of local gardening. So that's all going on now. So and I said, these are things that have been raised by Brian and Kevin as we're going along. Other things we're looking at is the connectivity of the town centre. So I'm feeding that into the into wayfinding and information boards. We want some nice maps or something in the town centre, some finger posts pointing to where we want to go. Wokenham's had it. Add a nice wayleave sign. There is funds in the highways budget for next year, so I'll be going to be identifying where we need them. Produce a draft report that'll come to you, so you to have a look and see whether you agree with what I think, and then we come up with any other ideas, and that can go forward with recommendations, and hopefully that'll go in the highways budget for next year to get some signage and some finger signs done. The Wokenham Borough Town Centre Strategic Group, that I've got that down to be formalised by the end of this quarter. It's a complicated one because it's just a line on the strategy. So obviously the strategy was done before I started. So and the strategy just said form a steering group. But I don't want to just form something just to tick a box. I want something that's actually worthwhile and that's actually going to be of benefit. And of course, it's borough-wide as well. So the terms of reference is currently being written, or I'm writing the terms of reference as we speak. I'm going to be speaking to the town clerks and parish clerks over the next week to get their ideas. Then we're going to formulate the attendees, but I've got to agree with obviously yourselves. And to be initially, it's going to be Twyford and Wokenham. So I need to agree with the clerks. It's going to have councillor present, town manager present, and some business stakeholder presence. That's the idea. So we're working on that. I'll be talking to Kevin for this side of things, and I'm speaking to Lucy in Twyford and Katie in Wokenham to move that forward. So that is ongoing. And also, as I said, I'm looking for attracting new business. One of the things we're looking at is creating a bid, and I know bids have been looked at before as business improvement districts. We've looked at one before in Woodley, looked at one before in Wokenham. Both of them were decided they weren't sufficient or feasible to go ahead. So I've been in discussion with British Bids to see whether there's a way we can do a kind of a joint bid that covers Wokenham and Woodley, lots of different things, because I imagine the first question would be, hold on, if all that money's going in, how do we make sure that money goes to us and not to them, and them and not to us? So lots of questions on that. But, and I'm also looking at all the, just getting all the details of the business rates of the of our council, just to have a look and see whether there would be enough income if their levies put on there, and see whether it's feasible before you even start coming and talking to the businesses and see whether it's something they want or not. So, so the feasibility study that's targeted at the end of this year to come up with that. And then it's just the looking at town centre partnerships. Which is basically the ongoing thing, to come up with a partnership that's going to the town centre partnership one. I want to produce a probably monthly or quarterly report that shows the footfall data, the car park data, is footfall going up, is going down, and the car park usage going up, going down, and any other industry stuff that can go to either to the council and to the business stakeholders. Looking at public transport, so obviously there's the wider transport and bus route review going on at the moment, so I now want to feed into that as part of the town centre, as looking at all the bus routes into the town centre and feed into that. And then the important one, we've got the accessibility review, so looking at how people can get into the town centre. So I'm going to carry a whole review, a walking review into yeah, so it's looking at the pavements, and looking at the pavements, is it flat enough? Are the drop curbs in the right place? Is it accessible? Is there too much street clutter? And then I've got a load of guide for walking audits that we have been started, or the bar has started doing in other non-town areas when I bring that into the town. So basically, if anyone walks into Woodley Town Centre, is it safe? Are the curbs dropped in the right place? Are the paving slabs even? Is there any trip hazards? Is there lots of ables or street furniture that's in the way that needs to be reviewed? So that's all going to be looked at during this year as well. Sorry, that was really quick, and I know that was far too much information to go through.
Yes, thank you, Mike. I would stress, though, from my it is imperative that with the town centre strategy, that the Woodley Town Councils and the Woodley Borough Councils have the larger say in what we need and require in Woodley.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah.
Not want, as I said, Finchampstead councillors deciding what we need.
No. Well, the steering group would be a Woodley councillor on air to Twyford one and Wokingham one. Not that'd be it. That's no one else.
Well, thank you. But just so you clarify, I'm allowed two questions. First.
I wonder if you can tell me, how often is the paving inspected in Woodley Town Centre? Or do we have to wait until someone falls over before it's found out? Because obviously the paving is very unstable in places and people are getting very annoyed about it.
Yep, yeah, 100%. Mate. I actually don't know the answer how often it is viewed. I'll find out and get back to you on that. But I know they are surveyed regularly, but I don't know how often they are surveyed, so I will double check. But as I said, during this year I'll be carrying out a full one as well anyway. But
when are we going to hear about the level of investment the Borough Council are putting into the Woodley Town Centre regeneration? There's not much point having lots of words and plans and ambitions unless we know that the funding is there to achieve them.
Again, at the moment, this is just a year. This is a 10-year strategy. We're at year one, so we're looking at the whole point of this year one is to find out exactly what Woodley needs before we even get onto the discussion of any long-term investment. And I'm assuming that will be discussed at a higher level, on a political level, rather than for me carrying out review. So that one's completely out of my hands. I don't know the answer to that.
6 months or a year or 2 years?
I can't give you an answer on that one.
Well, if you could come back to me with an answer, that'd be great.
I can ask the question. I just don't know who to ask the question to.
Yours will be the last question.
Can I just ask, Warwick, can you comment on any possible progress with Lonza, who are rumoured to be coming to Stanley Park and wanting to build new buildings and create 1,000 new jobs?
As far as I know, it's happening. That's as much information as I have on it. I know we, as an economic development team, we are in discussions with them. But if you want to direct the actual question, what you'd like to know, us what information I can get and come back to you directly.
And can I just make a very brief comment? One of the things I welcome is Warwick is an officer who's come to us and he's sharing information with us, which is very welcome. But I'd like to see a little bit more dovetailing working, partnership working with our officers, because it seems to me that our officers are waiting often for long periods of time for other officers, not Warwick, other officers, to get back to them. And we need both councils to be working much closer together.
Yeah, no, I've got that. But all I would say on that is use me as a conduit to, if you are waiting for anyone else to come back to you and they're not coming back to you, come to me, because I will come back to you and then I will make sure they come back to you. So just use me.
Thanks. I assume that within the town centre strategy, there is somewhere that you're looking at how disabled and the elderly actually access the shops, precinct, and actually use it. Because at the moment, there are parts of the precinct that are dangerous. There are parts of the precinct where if you go in a wheelchair, you get stuck in the gully and you can't get out of it. There are several shops that aren't accessible to wheelchair users.
Yeah, but that is all within the accessible audit I'll be carrying out. And I've already started discussions, so I'm looking at we've got an inclusive design group where we're getting advice from all different kind of aspects of people to what we need to be looking at. So that's really important. So we're looking at the right thing and we know what we're looking at. We've got the social care future action group. I'm working with them, and that's all about accessibility and again how we get into the shops. I'll have is there downstairs loos and all kind of things like that within the shops and disabled access. So yes, that's fully 100% all in that review.
Okay, well, if it's all right with you and with the other councillors, I'd like to be involved in some of that discussion, please.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, no problem.
Right, okay, well, thank you so much, Warwick, for coming along this evening. The imposition is over for your part.
Well done, Warwick.
Right. For the first 30 minutes of the meeting, that is set aside for the town forum. Do any of members of the public have questions for the council? No. Right, then we'll walk over, move on to item 3 on the agenda. But firstly, before I hold the election of mayor for the new year, let me say thank you to each and every councillor on this committee for giving me the opportunity to carry out the mayoral duties over the last year. It is unbelievable. I've got so many memories, happy memories, that will live with me forever. It will be completed on Friday when I enlist the Count to attend the garden party at Buckingham Palace. Without you lot and without the residents of Woodley, I would never have had the opportunity to partake in an event such as that. So thank you all, particularly for nominating me when it first came up from Councillor Kennedy from Banks. What can I say? I mean, I think I've done about 60 Merriman duties over the year. Carol and I have become best friends on occasions at various functions. Yeah, it's been a marvellous year. Whoever steps into my shoes, you've got a lot of memories coming your way. Just enjoy it. So, right, the agenda item is to elect a town mayor for the 26th year. I would like to actually nominate Councillor Darren Smith for that role. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Baker, as seconder. Are there any other nominations for that position? No? Then we put that to the vote then, please, for everyone, for Councillor Darren Smith to take the role of mayor for the forthcoming year. All those in favour? Thank you.
Sorry to miss that.
That was everybody.
But I've just said, any against, any abstentions? No? Then, Darren, it is with great reluctance.
I don't know who's more reluctant. Thank you.
That's
Thanks, Robert. What can I say, David? Councillors, thank you for your trust that you have placed in me for this very important position in the council. I relish the challenge this year. I hope I can do as well as David has done. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do the 60 events, so I will be relying a little bit on my deputy and maybe other councillors to assist in some of those duties as they arise. But I am looking forward to my year, and I thank you all for the trust you've placed in me. And I will do the best I can, and keep, hopefully, you all in line at our full council meetings.
Just don't forget, I want to invite to the bake-off.
Absolutely, good point. Okay, so I would like to confirm actually the charities that I'd like to support this year. So what I've decided to do is support two charities. So whatever money we do intend to raise, then hopefully we will split between them. So the first one is the Woodley Volunteer Centre. They're a great charitable organisation in Woodley. I look back at the money that, back at the previous charities, and they haven't been on the list actually. And they are a small Woodley charity that do a lot of good work in Woodley, so I thought we should support them and make a contribution. The second one is a little bit towards more young people bent, and also the other, because I used to do a lot of theatre and singing. So what I'd like to do is support the Woodley Festival of Music and Arts, because they do a lot of work with young people in Woodley to support them, and they meet and do their thing here at the Oakwood Centre quite a lot. So I'd also like to support them as well. So those are the two charities. I look forward to all of us coming together to support them and to provide them with a little something, because as I say, they're not massively big charities, these two, but they are, I think, quite nice little charities that happen in Woodley, and they do have quite good impact. Super. Thank you. All right then, so to confirm, I will sign the declaration of acceptance of the office straight after this meeting, so we won't do it just to keep things moving along. So I will therefore take item 5 on the agenda, which is to note any apologies.
Yes, we have apologies from councillors Anderson and Charles Bay.
Thank you. Okay, I will therefore take item 6 on the agenda, which is to note declarations of interest. Does any councillor have any declarations they'd like to reveal to us? Okay, in that case, then we will move on to item 7, which is the election of a deputy mayor for the municipal year 26-27. And I would like to nominate, I'd like to nominate for deputy mayor, Councillor Bill Stone.
I will second that.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for deputy mayor? Thank you, councillors. Therefore, all those in favour, can I please show of hands? Thank you. All those against? Doesn't matter, I'm afraid. All those abstaining? That has been approved. Thank you very much. Welcome, Bill. Thank you. And I look forward to your support in the year because I'm going to need it.
Thank you very much. It's quite interesting because although I've been mayor, I've never been deputy mayor.
Have you not?
No, I've never had that opportunity to sort of lead myself in slowly because I was the first Conservative mayor of Woodley Town Council, so I went straight into mayor. So this is something new for me and I'm very pleased to accept it. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Pleased to have you. Okay then, I will therefore take the next item on the agenda, which is item 8 on the agenda, which is to note, is for members to note the Council Charles Bay and Niagara have renamed the Independent Party as the Green Party. This does not otherwise change the composition of the council, and details of which were provided in the agenda. I think it's just to note that composition, and you can see on the agenda there the composition as it's been written down. Okay, there. I will therefore take the next item on the agenda, which is item 9, which is to note the political group party leaders for each of the various parties. For reference, these groups are currently the Conservative Party, the Labour Party, the Green Party, and the Liberal Democrat Party. Following information received from each of those groups prior to this meeting, members have been provided with the additional documentation listing out those intended appointments, with the only change being, of course, that the Labour group advised that Councillor Bello, and congratulations to you, will replace Councillor Taylor as group player for Labour. And assuming there are no other changes, yes, Councillor Baker.
Mr. Mayor, in light of the recent election of Councillor Stone as Deputy Mayor, I think it would be appropriate that he doesn't stay as the leader of the Conservative Party, and I would suggest that, just looking around, that I will act as the leader of the Conservative Party group. It's quite a dormant role anyway, in reality.
Can you note that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Are there any other questions? Item 9? Okay. Then I will go on to item 10 on the item 10 on the agenda, which is the election of the leadership of the council. So 10.1 is to elect the leader of the council for the municipal year 26-27. Do I have any nominations? Councillor Swaddle.
I would like to nominate Keith Baker.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Bragg is the seconder. Therefore, can I have a show of hands, please? All those in favour?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 for.
All those against?
1 against.
And all those abstaining?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 abstentions.
Okay, that has been approved. Thank you very much, duly noted. I will therefore take item 10.2 on the agenda, which is to elect the deputy leader of the council for the municipal year 26-27. Do I have any nominations? Councillor Baker.
I nominate Councillor Alison Swan.
Thank you. Do I have any a second? Yes. Councillor Bragg, thank you very much. We've all heard that proposition. Can I have a show of hands in favour of that, please?
15-4.
All those against?
None against.
And all those abstaining?
That's 7 abstentions.
Thank you. That's duly noted and that has been approved. Thank you very much. Therefore, so a few places here, and we'll therefore take item 11 on the agenda, which is for standing committees, and to approve their powers and duties and appoint members to serve on those committees for the next municipal year 26-27. The number and division of those places reported in our standing orders 2.2, along with the details of the members appointed to those committees at the last municipal year are shown in Appendix 11. Shall I take each one? Take them all together? Yeah, come on. Does any councillor have any opposition to us taking them all together in one? No. Are you okay for that, Greg? Okay. Okay, in that case, I will take items 11.1, 11.2 and 11.3 and could I have a show of hands to approve those, please?
It's 22-4.
Thank you. And all those against?
None.
And all those abstaining?
That's none.
And those are duly approved. Thank you very much.
That we normally note who's on them, but they're listed on here, so you can make reference to that.
Okay, just to make reference, you would have had this appendix with your papers today. That actually lists out who are on those committees and who are appointed to them. And that's really just to note that.
Yeah.
I'll therefore take item 12 on the agenda, which is memberships of subcommittees, task and finish of working groups and partnerships, and to approve their terms of reference, including the number of places, and to appoint members to serve on those committees for the next municipal year 26-27, understanding on 6.4A, 5B, 6.A, respectively. All their terms of reference, I think, have been circulated. And we now need to note members who have been appointed to serve on each of those standing committees. Do I think
we've just done that?
Yes. So, okay. And I'll therefore take. Okay. As a reminder, in line with standing orders 6.4, 0.5A, 0.6A, only members of those respective parent committees can approve the terms of reference for the relevant subcommittees, task and finish groups or partnership. I'll therefore ask Matthew to confirm those names of those eligible to vote for each of them. Please can I call all councillors to ensure that they do not vote where they are not eligible. Thank you.
It's helpful for me.
First.
It's very helpful for me.
Right. Is that the first one being strategy, task and finish group? Is that the first one?
Yeah, they're all full council for the first, so everyone can vote on that.
All right. Okay. So we'll take 12.1, 12.2 and 12.3. So the strategy, task and finish working group, the annual town meeting subcommittee group, and the Bournemouth site of urban landscape planning joint subcommittee. We'll take all of those two together to approve their terms of reference and to note the memberships of those particular groups as well. Can I have a show of hands approving those, please?
That's 22-4.
All those against?
None against.
And all those abstaining?
No abstentions.
Excellent. Thank you very much. They are approved and noted.
Chair,
Yes.
it's brought to my attention that the Council Strategy Working Group has a mayor,
Yeah.
which is you,
Yeah.
has the chair of the Standing Committees, Leisure Service, which is you.
Yes, it is.
So I think just to be clear, it does say vice chair, so that will, interpret as mayor, you, and Michael as the vice chair.
Yes.
Just so sorry. If it's got a slash on it, does that mean the chair or the vice chair, not?
Well, I'm assuming it's the chair or vice chair, but I'm asking
Yes,
advice.
because I'm on
Well,
it
that's
as
what it was
vice
last
of SNR.
Yes, because on the SNR, I'm not on it as chair, but Alison is. And it makes sense, whoever's the most appropriate. Hopefully all councillors here are okay with that. Otherwise you lose one person. Thank you.
No, that's fine. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. Okay. Members will now need to note the appointments to serve in each of these committees, and as previously, each political group indicated their proposed appointments to these committees prior to the meeting, on the assumption there would be no changes to the number of places. This information is once again included in an additional document. Matthew's handing that out. Assuming that there are no further changes, members are asked to note these points, and they will be listed. That's Next, we will deal with the committees for whom the Strategy and Resources Committee is the parent committee. These are the Investment Subcommittee, the Risk Management Subcommittee, Standing Orders and Financial Regulation Subcommittee, Marketing PR, Personnel Subcommittees, Woodley Town Partnership and the Theatre Development Task and Finished Working Groups. Only those members appointed to the Strategy and Resources Committee are permitted to vote on approving their terms of reference to these committees. Matthew, can you confirm who these members are?
Absolutely, yes. So the members that are able to vote on these committees are councillors Baker, Swaddle, Bragg, Gilder, Kennedy, Rowland and Taylor. We also have councillors Anderson and Charles Bay on that committee, but obviously they're not in attendance tonight.
As we did before, I will take items 12.4, 5, 6, 7 through to item 8. That's on pages 4 there. I'll take them all together to approve a note. Does it go on to 10?
No, don't worry, it's a typo.
It's a typo. Okay, it's a typo. Sorry about that. To number 10. I'll take those all together to approve and note those appointments. Can I have a show of approval for those from all councillors?
Again, it's just those councillors on that committee.
Just those councillors on those committees. If you're not on,
Matthew, can I just make a point? I'm on the personnel subcommittee, but you didn't mention my name.
Only think on the parent committee.
Right, okay.
Can vote on that.
Yes,
obviously, anyone can go on. So that was 7-4, so that was everyone.
Yeah. Okay. All those against?
There'll be none.
All those abstaining?
None.
Excellent. They are approved. Right. Okay. Okay. As before, proposed appointments to these, I'll take item, under Leisure Services Committee, I'll take items 12.9?
Yeah.
9,
Yeah.
10, 11 and 12 as on page 18 of the, sorry, as on page 5 of your agenda, to note and to approve those, and I will request only those people that are on Leisure Services can vote. Do you want to?
Yes, of course. So we've got councillors Smith, Firmager, Bragg, Edwards, Erawala, Gilder, Jewell and Kennedy. Again, we've got councillor Charles Bay on there, but he's not in attendance.
Those councillors on Leisure Services, can I see a hand for approval, please?
That's 7-4.
Against, all those against?
None against.
Those abstaining?
No abstentions.
They are approved and noted then. Thank you. Next, we will deal with the committees for whom, next we will deal with the committees for whom Leisure Services Committee is the parent committees. These are Youth Community Partnership, the The 3G steering. Just done, yes. Sorry, I'm repeating myself. Apologies for that, yes. I've jumped ahead. I was just taking that you all wait. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I think we're here, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes, so members now need to note the appointments to serve on each of these committees, and as before, the proposed appointments to committees are included in the additional document that has been shown by Matthew here. Additionally, for the Youth Community Partnership, up to 10 external representatives are also to be appointed to the partnership, and this year 2 of the existing external representatives, Chas Rand from the Central Woody Scouts and Grant Sullivan from the Woody Baptist Church, have indicated they are willing to be appointed to that committee. And assuming there are no further changes, members are asked to note these appointments and they will be listed in the minutes. Okay. Just get my... Okay, I will therefore take the Planning and Community Committee. That's on page 5 of your agenda, and that is to approve 12.13, which is the Cycling and Walking Subcommittee. And just remember that only those people on planning and community can vote for that. So to approve and note, who are the members of that committee?
The members of that committee are councillors Soane, Sartorial, Bragg, Guttridge, Horskins, Jewell, Lewis, Nagra and Singh.
Thank you very much. Would those councillors please approve and note? So all those in favour, please approve.
That's everyone, that's all 9, thank you.
Okay, no declines and no abstentions. Those are approved and noted. Thank you. I think we take item 13 now. Okay, I'll now take the next item on the agenda on page 6, item 13, which is outside bodies representatives, and to appoint council's representatives to the following bodies for the next municipal year 26-27. Appointed members may attend their respective outside bodies when invited and provide a report to full council meeting, for which a template is provided. I'm sure most of you understand that. Yes, Councillor Baker.
Thank you. I haven't got our list, but all the current Conservative councillors who are doing the, or currently appointed, are willing to stand again. Unless there's somebody else who wants to compete for it, then we may well be.
They remain the same. Okay, Councillor Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. With council's permission, I'd like to withdraw my position as council representative on the Bucks Association of Local Councils and the Wokingham Borough Parish Liaison Forum.
Thank you. Does any councillor wish to fill that place?
I don't want to go.
Are you sure?
Yes, I just wanted something else.
Yes, Councillor Gilder.
I'm sorry. The Pawsland charity, Councillor Mary Holmes and myself, our service has come to an end, but we're both quite happy to carry on the Pawsland charity for another 4 years. And we wondered if there would be anybody who would be interested in serving for the vacancy, because we really need more people on the charities trustees. So is anyone wanting to volunteer?
Councillor Weller, will you be happy to join the Pawsland?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll be busy.
Yes.
But you will enjoy it. Councillor Jewell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Assuming we're going to vote on this rather than note it, it would be really helpful to know who's in post at the moment. If Matt's got, I'm sure he's got
It was
that
on
list.
page 53 of the agenda.
Okay.
That was the list as it was at the end of the last municipal year. So there's just those few changes that have been suggested there.
Okay, so, oh yes, Bill, yes.
Just to point out, looking at page 53, I am a representative on 2, which is a Museum of Berkshire Aviation, which I might point out I have never received an invitation to attend any meetings. I'm not aware that any have taken place.
Chair, I can help there because I'm the borough's rep. There have been meetings there and they should have been inviting you. Yeah, so
I think I've
that's
mentioned this
an omission on their
previously.
part, yeah.
Can we get can you contact them, Matthew?
We've chased them before. I know it's come up. Well, we will chase them again. We've provided the details a couple of times. So we always, after this meeting, contact all of the outside bodies to reconfirm the appointments, but we'll make sure that they're told again about that.
And of course, the other one, Woking Borough Centre Strategy Working Group, as we've just heard, has not actually formed yet, so the two that I'm on that I have had no participation in.
So, you've all heard that we will continue with the current.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, please.
I note at 13.1, the Allotments Tenants Association have made a request to have a replacement because of non-attendance. I think we should listen to the Tenants Association. They're really doing a lot to regenerate the allotments, and I think we should do everything in our powers to help them. So I'm hoping there might be somebody else here who'd be willing.
Didn't we have someone from Leisure Services that was appointed to represent them?
You've got Councillor Charles Bay.
Charles Bay, yeah.
But they are saying, I think that's about me.
Oh, right, oh, we've not been able to attend, okay.
Tennis then. Requesting an alternative.
Okay.
Because they do need that representation. So I'm hoping someone here might want to put their hands up. Thank you very much.
Yvonne, thank you very much, because you sit on Leisure Services, don't you? I think it would be really helpful if that council also sat on Leisure Services.
That would be good, yeah.
Yes, so can we know that? Okay. I'll vote together.
Good.
Okay. Does anyone in council have any other comments before I propose a vote? Okay, so I would propose that the current list that has already been circulated, with the amendments that have already been provided tonight, so Councillor McKenzie, Bill, Yvonne, have been noted. Can I have a show of hands to approve those, please, those appointments?
22-4.
All those against? Any abstaining? That has been appointed and approved. Thank you.
So can I ask you, Mr Mayor, that the positions for the Berkshire Association of Local Councils and the Woking Borough Parish Liaison Forum will remain vacant, or are there nominations?
They remain vacant. If any councillor would like to...
I'll take these.
Will you take those? Councillor Swan, thank you for taking those. Do I need to vote that through?
Yeah.
Yeah. All those in favour of Councillor Swan taking on those appointments from Mike Kennedy? All those against? All those abstaining? That's appointed and approved. Thank you very much. Therefore, we will therefore take item 14 on the agenda, which is bank signatures. So that's to appoint bank signatures to authorise payments and financial transfers on behalf of the councils. Current councillors were appointed for 26-27. Councillors Baker, Bragg, Kennedy, Swaddle and Taylor. I assume, Councillor Baker.
We have an amendment to the item, just to clarify, when it says bank signatories, that's actually emails or e-signatures. That reads as if it's going to have to be pen and ink sort of thing. And just for clarity, we ought to just reflect that actually it's not always physical signatures, it's e-signatures as well, please.
I'm sure. I think in today's world, I think people realise that things are done electronically now. But it's good to point out. Okay, so assuming that there are no other comments, can I move to a vote to appoint those bank signatories and continue them for another year? Can I have a show of hands, please?
That's Yes, 22-4.
Okay, those against, those abstaining. Thank you, those approved and appointed. Thank you very much. Take item 15 on the agenda, which is the minutes of the council meeting held on the 10th of February. To receive those minutes held in that time. The minutes were included on with the agenda and can be seen on page 54. Are there any comments or questions regarding these? Yeah, Chair? Yes.
I've got a couple. Yes, not bad for me, is it? One is a discussion we had last time about the accrued deposits and how that was being sorted out. That's minutes 78.5, referring to the S&R minutes of the 27th of January. You may recall that towards the end of that discussion, after we'd had some discussion about what to do with that pile of money, I asked that the deposit process be updated to ensure that Woodley Town Council proactively gives people back their deposits rather than waiting for them to ask for their return. And that should be effected immediately, and it shouldn't be dependent on the introduction or the update of the ICT systems we've got. Now, that wasn't minuted. What is minuted is it was clarified that the finance manager had identified the issues and taken the appropriate steps to address it. As referred to in the report. The report that actually just talks about what we're going to do with that pile of money and that we're going to have something in an earmarked reserve. It doesn't actually mention any of the points that I've raised about changing our process. So I just wanted to confirm, has the process actually been changed? And if it has, can we minute it? And if it hasn't, can we have an action item for it, please?
I think that's you, Darren.
Yes, and yes, the process, we have got a new process in place. We haven't tested it yet, so we are, when the next appropriate booking comes in, I'm going to work with the bookings manager to drive on that process just to make sure it works in full. So yes, we've identified a process, we know what we want to do, and we're going to drive on it, and that's in lieu of a new booking system that might be coming in later on anyway, which may solve the problem in a better way for us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Well, just a comment really on, again, it was minute 48.1 about the budget estimates. And we were talking about the marketing budget. And during the budget discussions, we noted that we needed to up the bookings in the Oakwood Centre, but also as part of the budget, we cut the marketing budget. And in the minute, it says a comment was made, that was me, that the marketing budget had been reduced. And it would be interesting to see how this would impact efforts to increase income. Well, I don't want it to be interesting. I want us to actually do something about that. You know, I don't know whether it's measurable or what have you, but I'd like to see that stronger than it will be interesting.
Can you? What item number are we talking about?
It's on page 56. It's minute 78.5, and it's under the discussion that was held under minute 48.1 budget estimates. So it's that first paragraph under there.
I think, I mean, from my recall from Leisure Services, I think with the introduction of the new booking system and the transfer of all of that data and so forth, I think we're going to be doing a lot more self-fulfillment on the marketing activity, which is being run through the Leisure Services manager and his team, assisted by the marketing team. So I think that's going to enable us to significantly step up that marketing and target it in a more good way, I suppose, really, to make sure it happens. Now, if any other councils have got any other comments on that, I'd be very happy to receive them. Yes.
Okay, can we just say there's just something structured?
Can we just?
It would have picked up in the Leisure Services minutes, but I bring it up here because, like, it's down in the weeds somewhere.
Thank you.
Can I make a suggestion that we modify these minutes, because if they're not reflecting, then they need to be modified. And I think it's just two words need to be changed. Instead of it would interesting, just a thing, it would interesting to see how, change that, it is important to see how this, just that subtle change, well, it's not subtle, it's a major.
Because it is important.
If that's okay with you, Jim? Because it is important.
Any other questions? No. Okay, assuming that we're happy with those, can we please move to a vote? All those in favour of approving, please raise their hands. All those against? All those abstaining? Those minutes have been approved. Thank you. Item 16 on the agenda, I'll take that next now, is to review the actions and follow-ups arising from a previous full council meeting on page 51, which is appendix 6. Councillor Jordan.
It's on item 5th minute 15.4 about the covered cycleway. I see the smokers have got the cover, the cafeteria people have got cover, and the cyclists have nothing. So could I be told when? We keep being promised it. When is it going to happen, please?
Yeah, if I can just say, we do have the unit ready, unfortunately, because the amenities manager has been on long-term sick leave at the moment. There is an issue in the team for capacity to actually do it, so we're hoping that will be done soon. But I can't give you a date at the moment.
Thank you, Kevin. Right. Any other actions, follow-ups that people want to comment on? Okay, in that case, we'll go on to item 17, which are the committee reports, and to note those following reports. We have the chair of the planning and community committee to take items 17.1 and 17.2. Bill?
Yeah, that's the minutes of the planning and community committee meeting held on the 3rd of March 2026 on pages 61 through to 66.
Take item 17.3, which is the Leisure Services Committee, and as chair of that one was so you did both.
Did you do both?
Yes.
No, I didn't do both.
Oh, I thought you did both. I asked you to do both. Okay. Then I'll take item 17.2. Right. Planning and Community Service on the 31st of March 26th. Bill.
That's it. Present those plans, and they are from page 67 to page 72.
And I'll take item 17.3, which is the Leisure Services Committee meeting held on the 14th of April, from page 73. To note that and to ask if any councillors have any questions. Thank you. Item 17.4, which is Strategy and Resources Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Present the minutes of the Strategy and Resources Committee on the 21st of April 2026, pages 77 to 83.
I'll ask if any councillor has any comments. Okay, and we'll go on to 17.5, which is the report from the Planning and Community Committee held on the 28th of April.
Those plans, those minutes, on pages 87 through to page 91.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to update the council regarding the bus service to Twyford Station discussion. I attended the planning committee, and there was a very good discussion about what councillors would like to see implemented from January 2027. I noted a very helpful contribution by Councillor Guttridge about the issue of suitable disabled access, and I'll be pressing that with the Borough Council as well as the other aspects of the point, which is on item 189, and there'll be ongoing pressure to get a new bus service.
I actually called the 128 from Woodley Precinct through Sonning back and then into Oxford, down Western Avenue, and then on into Twyford. And then obviously it got you into Oakham eventually. But what a great service that was, I have to say. I was very impressed with that. Is this an additional?
This would be additional because there's a whole community that isn't served currently, Loddon Park.
Yes.
And they're clamouring to get access to Twyford Station.
Do we know which bus company is thinking about providing it? Is it
Reading Transport.
Reading Transport.
Reading Transport. Yeah. Although Carousel Bus Company are now trying to
be interested because they run similar route there. don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wish you luck with that.
Yeah. I'll update the council.
I may actually be taking that service as part of my new job on my commute, so very interested in that. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll take item 18 on the agenda, which is the Council Strategy Task and Finish Working Group. Take item 18.1 to note the report on page 93 of the meeting that was held on the 23rd of February. Does any council have any comments about that before I go on to? Actually, I'll take all of them together if that's all right. 18.2 and 18.3. So the 23rd of February, 24th of March, and 22nd of April on pages 93, 95, and 97, respectively. Does any councillor have any comments? Councillor Baker.
Thank you. Very interesting reading. It's good to see some progress. Slow, but it's better to be slow and right than fast and wrong. My comment is basically around the third meeting, when it talks about the survey. Historically, this town council actually engaged a professional marketing survey company to request or ask questions, probably very similar to the sorts of questions that people are talking about in this survey. I don't know if they have to turn it off, I'm not on it, right? I caution this council and even the officers of creating a survey that is going to be so critical to the core of the financing of this council going forward. I really think we need to make the investment. It's not going to cost £100. It's not going to cost 50,000, but it's going to cost something. And I really think, because of what's hanging on this survey, we really should make an investment. If it's £1,000, £2,000, it will be well worth it. When you engage a professional person, why would you engage a professional person? First of all, they're separate to us. We all have our access to grind. We've got political views, we've got non-political views. They won't. Secondly, they fully understand the concept of demographics. I'm not saying we don't, but they'll understand demographics in the minute detail. So when they do a survey, they just don't do a blanket, please respond. They actually cherry pick. They cherry pick by age, by gender, potentially even by religion. But they do that because they understand that those communities are going to potentially say something different each time. We need to be all-inclusive. So they do that. They do it generally face-to-face. Doing face-to-face for the whole community, impossible. But they don't need to, because they are professional, because they know what they're doing. They know statistically what is the minimum number of residents of each cohort that you actually need to talk to. And guess what? Certainly when it was done before, it was 500, 600. It's that sort of number. It's not 22,000, because it's 20,000 plus residents. And then they will potentially follow up. They will be highly objective, which generally we won't be. I put my hand up, I won't be. You know, even officers in the best will of the world, you won't be able to be objective. And I think this is so critical. If we don't get that data everything that we've been talking about for 4 years is false. It won't be right. So I urge the committee to look at that and get officers to investigate. You could even tonight say, please go off and investigate getting some. And guess what? Once you've done it once, you could do it every other year. Because that's what we used to do. Every other year, we went back, the document was produced for something like 30, 40 pages. And I'll tell you what, I think I circulated it to everyone. Have a look at that. And the questions, most of them were the generic ones, you know, what facilities do you want, etc., 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 what the best, what the priority, what are you willing to pay for. But there was also the ability for that moment of time, if there was a topic, like once there was about the toilet, for instance, they could add that specifically. And I personally would, it was a shame it stopped, but I personally think we need to put that back in and have that as a core going forward. Maybe every other year we do this survey. It doesn't have to be exactly the same questions. So I really, really passionately urge you to do that. Thank you, Chair.
Kevin.
Thank you, Chair. Just in response to that, and I can confirm we are speaking to providers or potential providers for that at the moment, and we'll be bringing something back to the next meeting of the strategy group to consider what the format of that might be and how we can fit that into that piece of consultation.
Thank you, that's good.
David, did you want to say any comments at all?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a very good idea.
I know there's been, obviously I've attended with David, but we know we've got to get it right actually, otherwise we've got to get the direction right. So that was one of the things I know you talked about, and I'm glad we're looking into that now. Then also be the opportunity for councillors to join us on a training session for that purpose, brainstorming, have their input, and we actually encourage all councillors, if they'd like to attend, if they're able to come, not just this task and finish group, actually want as much initial input as we can on that. So I think that's a shout out for something slightly separate but related. Good. Then I'll move on to item 19, which is the finance update. Darren.
Thank you, Chair. Also, the finance update on page 99. I'll just give you the headlines from this report. Table 1 sets out the final outturn position for the council, which is a net spend of £94,000. That's lower than what's previously forecast by a sum of £52,000, which ultimately means that less has been required to be taken from general reserves. The general reserves position is set out on table 3 on page 101. So that shows you now that the reserves have reduced from 788,000 to 693,000, but albeit higher than what we was previously expecting. So in turn, that should mean for 26-27, subject to any changes in priorities or other developments, we should be able to move closer to our target level of reserves of £605,000. Okay.
Thank you, Darren. Does any councillor have any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Therefore, I shall move on to item 20, the leader's statement.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, you have is this something? Right, sorry, yeah. Very good. Item 19.2 on your agenda. Basically, to note that the appropriate authorised bank signatures have been checked. Sign the council bank up to the 31st of March. It's an accounting thing, but it's I suppose going to be a lead statement.
Right, unfortunately I was expecting this to happen earlier. In the absence of it not happening, I'm going to do it myself. You will all know of the very, very sad demise of Ronnie Hookery. Ronnie was, I'm not going to give you a eulogy, I'll save that for later, but Ronnie was just one of a kind, helping everyone. When the food bank couldn't operate as well as it does today, when they used to shut the doors at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday to Friday, he stepped in. He took in donations, over 1 million of them while he was doing it. And he then made sure those donations then went to the food banks when they were open. So residents had a 24-hour opportunity to donate. Ukraine. When Ukraine came in, he stepped in, he organised a convoy, he went with that convoy through to the border, Poland and Ukraine. He went with Dwayne Harris, and one other person as well. Sorry?
Rob Mackenzie.
Yeah, Rob Mackenzie. The three of them, the three musketeers. He constantly had Ukraine in his heart. He had lots of other things. Those have all come out, I'm sure you've seen it. There is a Just Funding web page. Already nearly £2,000 have been raised. The money from that is going to partly pay for funeral expenses, because unfortunately he did not have any. He spent all his money on other people, but any balance will be going to Ukraine. So if you haven't already, I urge you to get in, and just £5 is fine. Over 100 people already have donated. That is the strength of the love for this man. So one of the things that we've been talking, or I've been talking to Kevin, that I would like to propose and take a vote on in a minute, after a minute, is how do we commemorate this man's, how do we give a lasting commemoration to his efforts, which are second to none. We'll probably never find anybody like that again. The obvious answer was, in the Community Heroes, we have a Volunteer of the Year. So what more fitting commemoration of his name and what he did to rename that the Ronnie Goodbury Volunteer of the Year. It matches so well with what he did without seeking any thanks or anything like that whatsoever. So I would like to put that to a vote. Just before, I would like to do a minute's silence, Chair, if that's okay with you?
Yes.
For Ronnie.
Councillors, can I ask you the upstairs to give a minute's silence? Thank you. Councillors, thank you. Be seated.
So, Chair, on the proposal to change, rename the Volunteer of the Year Award. I also would add to that, could we also agree that a letter of appreciation of all his efforts are sent on behalf of the Town Council to his surviving relatives, his son and his wife.
I would second that, if I may.
Thank you very much. Councillor, you've all heard the proposition from Councillor Baker, which has been seconded by Councillor Bragg. Can I hear a show? Can I see a show of hands to approve that, please?
It's unanimous.
Thank you. That has been approved. Councillor Baker.
Yes, and I'll just finish off. This is going to be, for this group, the last annual meeting we have until a new group.
A new group.
And I know a lot of the faces here, mine won't be here, will no longer be here. So I want to put on record because it is the last annual meeting that this group will do. My many, many thanks to each and every one of you with all your efforts, all your support, all your debates, all your anger, but also all your kindness and willingness on behalf of Woodley residents. And I thank you all for leaving your political label at the door, because you've actually done that. You've done that this last 3 years, and hopefully will continue for the last year. And that is essential. Yes, we get elected on political labels, but that's irrelevant in many respects. It's what Woodley residents need. That's what we do here, and we work really well together. Finally, I know one or two of you are standing for borough council elections on Thursday. Can I wish all of you the best of luck? Please don't get too sad if you don't actually get elected. There's always another time. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, I will take item 21, which not as exciting as that, but standing order updates, what can I tell you? I'd like to ask members to consider approving these amendments to the council standing orders. Matthew.
Yes, these are tweaks. Obviously, once there was a proposal to bring forward the start time of the meeting by 30 minutes, it technically could impact the finishing of the meeting. At the moment, understanding orders, meetings will go on till 10 o'clock and extend till 10:30, and we understand the purpose of bringing it forward by half an hour was to finish half an hour early. So this just purely recommends changing those SOs to bring those times forward half an hour.
Thank you. Does any council have any questions before we move to a vote? Okay, all those in favour, please raise their hands to approve.
Yeah, that's 21-4.
All those against?
None against.
Those abstaining?
No, one abstention.
Okay. Those have been approved. Thank you very much. Right. Item 22 is the banking hub. And in light of that recent public petition, subsequent publicity, which we've all seen, members are asked to consider determining a formal proposal as to whether the council is in support of it or against or neutral as to a position on the banking hub in Woodley. I'll get Kevin to set the scene on this one.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Members will remember some correspondence which was sent out about this when it happened, because it fell between meetings. I did obtain a consensus from group leaders to send a letter in support of the application for a banking hub. The reason for this is, great as that wasn't helpful, it's not the formal position of the council until we've got something minuted, so we wanted to bring that here just to get a formal position going forward.
Thank you.
May
Yes,
I say something, please? Yeah, I mean, this is Ronnie Goodbury. He put a great deal of effort into organising the petition for the banking hub. I know most of the councillors here have actually signed that petition. He was doing it solely as an individual, solely as a resident, and solely as a community project. I today met with Jane Michelle, who'd been walking around the precinct taking signatures from people. So myself and Brian Finelli actually met with her because none of us want to see this go under following Ronnie's death. We want to see it through to the end and hopefully get conclusion, favourable conclusion. Whether we will or not, that is debatable, but at least we're trying. We've got, well, there are at the moment somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 signatures on that petition, which is well in excess of 10% of the population of Woodley. So it puts us in a strong position as far as residents are concerned, to proceed. But one thing that would help the application dramatically are personal letters from the councillors. Now, some of you may not be prepared to do it. I'm actually doing my own letter at the moment. But if you feel able to support the Banking Hub application, please, I beg you, do a letter of support detailing why you think a banking hub is necessary. It's no good just saying, I support a banking hub. You need to explain it, the reasons you support the banking hub. Vulnerable people, face-to-face contact with a bank. If you can do that and get them into Brian Finelli, who's actually collecting them and preparing a letter to go off within the next, I would say, 10 to 15 days, appealing the decision by link, it would be greatly appreciated.
Sorry, Jude.
Just to sort of back up something that David was saying there about if people sending in letters, certainly, you know, when we had that first mail round from Kevin, I mean, on behalf of the Labour Party, we were, you know, group, we were all in favour of supporting that. I mean, why wouldn't you want a banking hub when your bank has closed down? But following that, I did actually dig into it about what, you know, what this banking hub thing is all about. And I mean, it's supported by some of the major banks, and it was supposed to help communities where people didn't have, well, the prime thing is access to cash. And I would urge you all to, you know, go onto the link site and read that, because I think we are not going to get a banking hub on the back of access to cash. And we've seen the reply back from them, because we've got, you know, we've got the Nationwide in the precinct, which has committed to keep all its branches that are open now open to 2030. You know, we've got cash dispensers in various places in Woodley. So we just don't meet that criteria. But the other element of a banking hub is this face-to-face service. And I have seen this in action. My aunt lives in Harpenden and they've got one there. Again, it's not, they aren't all the same, because it's all very dependent on the local banks actually being, you know, considering it worthwhile and pushing somebody in. But typically how they work is that you have, in the banking hub, you know, you have what looks like a little kiosk really, and that's run by the post office, and it does all those services that our post office does. You know, it takes in money and what have you. It doesn't do, interestingly, some of the post office services, like you can't get foreign currency there, but it does those limited things. But the banking, the face-to-face banking bit is where, and it's typically, say, the big banks, they will have a day, one day a week, when they will make somebody available from their branch, or, you know, a local branch, to actually be there, and you can book an appointment, which, to be honest, I'd quite like to be able to do that with my bank now, you know, rather than just have to rock up, as it turns out, and wait and see if somebody will talk to you. But yes, but that is that face-to-face thing, and I'm guessing, and again, we haven't got any data really, but I'm guessing that that's the thing that people are most exercised about. The fact that when you've got a problem, or it's something you need, you know, a bit complicated, or you need to sign something, that people, you know, who've got limited mobility, haven't got access to a car or what have you, that's an issue. So I would think if we, you know, people are going to put in a request or support this, you need to major on that, and it's well worth having a look at the criteria on their site to kind of explain why, you know,
Could I clarify?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, thank you, June, for that. Sorry, just stand up. You are correct. What they're pushing for is a banking hub with people coming out from the banks. Link looked at our original application as cash accessing only, whereas it isn't, it's for their face-to-face meetings. Crowthorne got allocated a banking hub. They are half the population of Woodley. All other criteria are, as near as anything, equates with Woodley.
So we've got a post office
There
then?
are 3 cash points that Link announced, 2 at the Nationwide, 1 internal, 1 external, and 1 at the Co-op up Woodlands Avenue, which is internal again. That means after business hours, there's only 1 cash point in Woodley. So,
You can get cash from the post office, so that's
but
another
you
issue.
can't. If you go to the post office there, it's a franchise operation of Morrison's. He will not allow more than 1 person to be on duty in that shop at any one time. So he's got young girls who are trying to run the post office and trying to run the shop. If they want to go have a break of nature, they've got to put a sign on the door saying, closed, come back in 5 minutes. And I've got photographic proof of this.
I've got some information on that as well.
Okay, so the queues go round and round and round. 1 person can't do that. And this is why the other 2 girls actually left.
David, we need to keep it high level, really. I love the story, but we need to keep it a bit, and we can make that.
That is quite pertinent, that is pertinent, isn't it? It is, if we're being turned down because the post office is there, but the post office isn't delivering a service.
I think the basis of which we make the separation needs to be.
Sorry, just quickly, Brian did ask representatives from our MP's office to come down and speak to him about this. And having gone through, the criteria and thinking we weren't going to get much of a chance with access to cash, Joanne did write to the post office to tell them about the issues at Morrison's and the fact that people are saying that there's been staffing issues and the standard of service hasn't been great. And there's a reply come back to which I think somebody has put onto Facebook in Woodley. But the post office response was there's a new post office manager has been appointed, believe customers will see a significant improvement in the service standards, thanking them for bringing it to their attention, and want to reassure customers that they're working with Morrison's to improve the service. Again, if people's experience is not that, I'm sure Joanne would be pleased to hear about that and take that further.
Actually, we should get support from her.
She has.
And that should be included in any submission that we make.
The other thing, just in passing, was apparently a constituent had mentioned to her that she'd heard the post office was relocating to the Just Tiles roundabout, and again the post office have said we can confirm we've not received any notification from Morrison's about a relocation, but that's not directly related to that. I just thought you might be interested.
Thank you, Julian. David, now let me stop there.
Very quick, with respect, Ronnie actually wrote to Yuan Yang asking for support and had a short email back saying no.
Right,
I don't think that's quite correct, actually. But
this proves the point that working together can be more effective than just one email from one to another. But Keith, yes.
Very, very quick. Extra data for you, Julian, for David. If they're saying or hinting that they don't think it's appropriate to have a banking hub because there's a post office there, cite back Brixham. Brixham has had a banking hub for probably about 4 years now. They've got about 50 different financial institutions who will use it. And the post office is in the Tesco, which is 50 feet across the precinct. So fully operational. So I'm just saying, if they come back and say that.
It'd be interesting actually to ask them down there how they swung it. Because they must have had something that they've been able to put
Something in
in.
the argument that they made that was
Yeah.
compelling enough.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
think you
interesting to
personally-
know.
Yeah, but share that experience with our Brian and the Dean to get to make sure.
But if any councillor feels able to write a personal letter, it would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
Mr Mayor, can I suggest that this council does make a formal position that we are very much in favour of a franking hub and we should make our noises heard as a collective.
All right, so
I'll second that.
any second that? All those in favour of doing that, please raise their hands and approve.
That's everyone.
Yes, everyone. Thank you very much, councillors. Good discussion. Right, I will move on to item 25 now, which is future agenda items.
23, Chair.
23, sorry.
23.
I must have, sorry, I turned the wrong page. Apologies for that. Item 23, which is reports from outside bodies. I believe they've been circulated with the agenda. Does anyone have to give a verbal one that they would like to give? Only myself, actually. I attended the Swansea Welfare and Educational Trust meeting last week. We had 5 or 6 applications, actually, which were really good. But unfortunately, most of them weren't for anything to do with education or welfare. So it was a little bit sorry that we had to refuse them. What I will say, though, is that there were a couple that we were able to support them with. We made some suggestions to 1 or 2 people, and we were able to help them on that basis. So please, if you have anybody that has educational welfare issues, please do let me know, and I can refer them on to the trustees for a decision on funding. But what we won't do is buy them a new car or, pay their electric bill or anything like that. It's going to be something more substantive. But do go and talk to them. Thank you. Okay, item 24 then, town mayor's engagements. David?
Yeah, I mean, two real names, mostly GMS. It's a local operatic society who do Gilbert and Sullivan. Jenny and I went along to see the Candista or something.
Condidista, or it was an extension of the word. The proper word.
It was brilliant, absolutely magnificent. So if they've got another show on, they do them 6 months in the theatre here. It's well worth booking and going along. They are brilliant. And the other one that really stuck in my mind, we had a letter from year 2 at Beechwood School, who was studying bees, and I had 6 letters come from pupils. Well, one of them actually said, "I am forcing you to do something about bee conservation." We sent a letter back to them, thanking them and telling them what they're doing. And as a result, I was invited along to give a talk on bee conservation to the young children. And I tell you what, it was absolutely amazing what those children knew about bees. Would amaze everyone. I asked them, can anyone tell me a couple of variations of bumblebee or of bees? What expecting them to say bumblebee or honeybee? Oh, they came back with a lot. I asked them how many actually make honey, and they told me, and put me right in the place. But anyway, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant, and they've done a hell of a lot of work there on bee conservation. And it was nice to highlight to them also the beehives that we have over at the allotments. But they are 2 that really stick out in my mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent. Okay, I'll take item 25 now. Future agenda items. Anyone have any future agenda items? I'll then take item 26, which is publicity and websites. And 26.1 to note the press releases that have gone out in the last from the last one, Council one in Appendix 26. Does anyone have any to consider items to be published 26.2? Does anyone have any comments or items that would like to be considered? Councillor Baker.
It's great to get a list. It would be interesting to see what impact the release has. So it almost sort of needs another column to say published in Wokingham Today or Reading Chronicle or whatever. I'm assuming, maybe incorrect, that the Town Council gets the newspapers. Used to. But because if you don't know whether it gets published, you get a little tiny bit. You don't know whether you're having an impact. You don't know whether the press release is right, they're talking to the right people, etc. So could I ask the PR and marketing group to go back and look at how you expand that report? I don't know, it doesn't. It just basically, did it get into the press? Yes or no? You know, why, etc.
Effectiveness.
Thank you.
That's the word.
We can know that and push that back. Yes, Yvonne.
I was just wondering, items to be publicised, is it worth a press release about our youth club and trying to increase the membership for the youth club?
We can certainly do a little release on that. That's a good idea. Thank you, Jane.
Yvonne.
Yvonne, we can do that. Yvonne. Why don't we get you to?
I don't know.
Okay. Item 27. Town Council questions to Wokingham Borough Council. This is a new agenda item. I think it was added some months ago. But 27.1 to consider a request from Strategy and Resources for Town and Parish Council questions to be raised at the next appropriate meeting regarding the lack of engagement with Town and Parish Council, specifically in relation to the Town Centre strategy. Can I just make a comment? And Kevin, please, if you can make a comment.
Yeah, if I can just make a comment there. Also requested at that Strategy and Resources meeting was that a letter be sent from myself and the Mayor to the leader of Wokingham Borough Council and the Chief Executive. That was sent. I did get a response back from the Chief Executive last week just to say that she was looking into the points raised in the letter but agreed on the importance of collaboration. So I'll await a more full response on that going forward.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Does any council have a question? 27.2 to consider any additional requests for questions to be raised on the Town Council's behalf at the relevant Wokingham Borough Council meeting. Does anyone have any questions that they would like to lay back?
I haven't got a question, but we've been running this process now for a little bit of time, and I can't help thinking it's one of the most convoluted, confusing, time-wasting processes. Could I don't know who we asked, but can I ask someone to go back and have a look? Because it's almost, how many hurdles can you put in the way to get a question? And can you imagine a question that's quite current, by the time we've gone through our whole processes multiple times, it's no longer current. So it's a pointless question. So can we find a way of streamlining, maybe give the power to each standing committee to raise the question themselves, and then if there's there won't be, but if there's a competing, with 3 questions or 4 questions, you do an email poll or something to say which one it should be that should go forward, because at the moment it's bureaucratic, and I can see some nodding and some chuckles, so I think there's some agreement on that.
Just to know, we can reconsider that and bring that back through council for consideration, but just to note that it did go through that process and council did approve the current process.
But
we can review that. Yeah.
And the proof is in the.
I think it's good to test it, but as soon as we can discuss it at a later time, so we remember, and therefore, but if we come
We went to the meeting in July to approve a question, and that's in September.
Well, councillors, thank you very much. That is the end of this full council meeting. Thank you for attending, and I look forward to seeing you again.